We have a brand new collection from Hunkydory, and I'll tell you, if you are in the market for masculine cards, you're going to want to watch this. It's called By Land, Sea, and Air, and here is one of the cards that you can make with the benefit of one of our cutting dies. Okay, please come play with us. Well, there are two components to making all of the cards that Heidi has made. One of them is brilliant backgrounds. Now, this is an 8x8 paper pad. There are 48 sheets, double-sided, and there's 12 designs, so you're going to get four of each one. The other component are these toppers, and they are called decoupage toppers because you can layer the different layers on top of them, each other, with foam tape. There are 8, but I have 4 here, and then I'm going to show you the 4 that Heidi has used. So this has Start Your Engines. You can see those cars. This is Enjoy Your Trip, whether it is a scooter or a van. This is Taking Flight. You can see both kinds of airplanes. And this is called Classic Ride, so you can see the motorcycle as well as the car. Those are just half of what you get in this collection. So let's get started with our cards. And the first one, we're going to take a train trip. And here it is. We'll get in closer so you can really see this. And this is our 5 by 6.5 inch card. And you can see birthday wishes there. And there is the paper toll decoupage toppers. Okay, got all of that. So you can see it's layered like that. So let me show you how this is put together. What Heidi has chosen is this sheet out of that 8x8 paper pad. So you can see the train tracks coming, the bridge above it, and it is double-sided. This one has stripes on the other side. So what she has done is taken this piece and trimmed it down to fit on her card. By the way, there are instructions down below. Just click on the card and then you'll see the instructions on the right-hand side of your screen. So she has taken that and then she has matted it. And in each case of this entire collection, she has chosen a different solid cardstock. Now, you can use what you have on hand or you can take her suggestions, whatever you like. This was matted on Fairy Garden. Doesn't that seem interesting? Fairy Garden with the trains. Okay, that's going to work. So she matted it first with that Fairy Garden. Then she matted a second time on the gold. And I'm going to turn this just so the camera can pick up that bit of gold. And that is one of our papers, so that's going to work nicely. And she did glue those to her card front. Then she took a piece of ribbon, and this is out of the black ribbon set. And you can tell that she used the narrow piece and just went down, I think this is about 3/4 of an inch, and glued that strip across. Then she placed the dazzles, and this is out of our Greetings dazzles. This is the set that is black, and there are 3 sheets in there. So birthday wishes, she's just simply placed right at the top. But to duplicate that gold, as well as the gold foiling that's on the decoupage, she used our thin line gold dazzles. And this is just very effective in giving that bit of shine. And isn't that nice? Now, one thing you're going to want to do is to use foam tape. Now, you can use foam tape in any way you want. We do have these gymongous rolls at a great retail price that the design team just swears by. So that is in the listing down below. And these layers were done. You can do just 1 layer. You can do, in this case, she has done 3, building it up with foam tape. Now she elected, can you see that there's the shiny crystals on the train and by the flowers? So those come from the gold and silver collection, also from Hunkydory. So it's called Gold and Silver Shimmer Diamond Sparkles. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Now Heidi loves making bows, but she likes to make them perfectly. So she finds that Hunkydory's bow maker is just a great tool, and I know that many of you would agree with her. Now on the inside of her card, she has done the Fairy Garden solid cardstock, covered that whole piece, and then she took that same paper and turned it over. Okay, there's our train track. turned it over, and you've got the wood grain, and just did a strip of that, matted it on that gold paper, just the top part of it, and glued that in place. Then added the thin line dazzles. Now, I didn't show you this. Shame on me. I need to show you this whole piece. So this is called Life is a Journey. So you have the train. You also have a double-decker bus. How fun is that? You also have some greetings and some things that you can add to your project. Now, in this case, what Heidi has done is this piece, she has elected to use that on the inside of her card. So you see how it's got the smoke up there? That she elected to put there. She used the "You Are Just the Ticket" and glued that down. So the card front just has all of these other pieces. So you're going to take the largest one, which is going to be this one, glue it down, and then foam tape the other layers on top as you build your piece. Okay, so that works very nicely. Now, on the inside here, she went back to those black greeting dazzles, sending love with those hearts, another little bow, and more of the crystals. So that finishes her horizontal card. Just a really nice job. So that's the fifth piece that is in with the decoupage toppers. Now, our next one is this. So this is a Slimline, but Heidi, as usual, has done something a little different with it. So she has taken this piece of her, well, actually first, she has, let me flip this open so you can see there is a, just this layer on the front, this little flap. So what she did is she placed it horizontally and then measured 2 inches from each side and cut that piece out. So she has this little piece. So before we get to this, let's do this one. And here is the sheet that she selected. As you can see, that's going to do a good job when you've got an ocean liner like that. And so she's got that there. And she did mat it on a Seafoam and Pearls. Isn't that a perfect title? And you can see the blues in there, lots of blues and teals. And she matted that and then glued it on the inside of her card. Okay, so that's all we're going to do right now. Let's go back to the flap. The flap has this swirly kind of ocean paper. Well, it's on the back side of this. How convenient is that? This too has been cut and matted and on that same Seafoam and Pearls paper and then glued to that flap. Now notice everything has a white edge, so that's going to be a nice consistent piece throughout her project. Now in this case, she has elected to use the dazzles. These are the gold border dazzles. Look how shiny those are. And she's done 3 strips of them. And then she built her topper. Now her topper has this. So this is called Ocean Waves. So there is our liner. And then you've got a sailing ship. Isn't that pretty? So you, as you can tell, with every one of these sheets, you've got 2 images, but you've got lots of layers that you can use quite nicely. And so that has been built up. It looks to me like she's used all the layers, so you can do that if you like. And then going back to the inside, and she's got this fun thing on each side, and it comes from this that is the Happy Days, Happy Days 3D labels paper towel. Okay, so you get 2 sheets, which is unusual. And you can tell that she has taken this one and has built all the layers of it. So you can see that this is the main piece. Maybe you can see it a little bit better if I do this. Okay, and so she's built it up. So this is number 1, which goes down flat. Then number 2, which goes with foam tape. Number 3 is right here. And what she elected to do was to then cut it in half. Just cut that little puppy in half. And look how much bigger it looks, of course. So then she simply glued that down on each side of the flap, and she made sure that her dazzles extended over onto that paper towel. So that decoupage. Then on the inside here, she used one of the pieces of this collection. It says Time to Relax, and she foam taped that in place. Now all of these little sparkles here, those are the insides of this border. You can see that would be a little diamond. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, thank you. There you go. So, and she's just popped those right there. So nothing goes to waste, of course. And that is how she did this Slimline card. Very, very nice. Now, once again, you don't have to use all the layers here. You can just use one or two or whatever you like. Maybe save the others for another card. Okay, that will work nicely. Okay, I've got another one. And this one is using the Ready to Rumble. Okay, so we've got this dump truck, and then we also have this tractor. So ready to rumble on whatever way you want. And don't forget, you do get the greetings. Now, in this case, Heidi has used one of our card cutting dies. This is the Bendy card, and I'll show this to you. And you get the 3 layers. So you get the back piece and each of these. And then the cutting die will also cut in these notches that are going to slip together. The card, of course, is going to mail flat. And we've got the 10 envelopes for you. So it's just the 3 pieces. But Heidi has really made them very fun. So let me show you what she's done. She used this one for the back arch. And you can see right here, see the crane? So that first piece, that arch, is going to be used to cut this. Actually, that's not true. Let me just step back for just a second. So she's going to take, this is the Autumn Garden solid cardstock, and she's going to use that to cut that arch. Okay, but she did cut a second arch, and that's where the crane comes in. Okay, that arch is cut with our nested arches. So it is a smaller arch, a narrower arch. That way she could glue it right on top, and that worked quite nicely. Now, 3 pieces. So one piece is going to be on this orangey cardstock, and another one on this gold cardstock. All of them are in the Autumn Garden collection. What I think is very clever that she did, well, many things that she did. So right here, this boulder is coming from here. So what she recommends is going ahead, I'm going to lay this flat just so you can see it, and cutting this piece, which is out of this cutting die, right there. Cut it out of this orange cardstock, but then cut the paper again, and then just trim it a little bit smaller so it can fit just right on top of the cardstock. That's going to work nicely. She did the same thing on the other side, so let me show you that. So this is this die. Cut it out of the kind of tan cardstock, and then cut the other side of this, which is all of those stones, same shape, but then just trim it down a little bit so that you see the cardstock on either side. Or you don't have to. You can just leave it completely covering the cardstock, whatever you like. This isn't quite heavy enough to really take the place of this piece of cardstock, so you do need to have the cardstock as well as the paper just to get this look. Speaking of this look, we've got 2 of those trucks. Well, that is easy to accomplish because there are so many pieces on the decoupage sheet. So you can see that she did one that has the rocks behind it and did a couple of layers. And then she glued the bottom of it to the top part of this. Okay, so that way it's going to be taller on the card. That worked very nicely. And don't forget, these have foiling on all the layers. Then for this piece, she did another of the trucks. And again, you get many of them. So it's going to be this one that doesn't have the rocks around it. Did 2 layers of that and glued it right there. Now, as a masculine look, she also added the gold studs. You can see 3 are right there. And the other thing I want to point out, you do have a greeting, so that's foam taped in place. As I said, the cutting die is going to cut the slits that you need to insert these. But if you cover it up with paper, as she has done, you're going to need to recut them. The thing that we recommend is our retractable penknife. The reason that this works so well is it has a very fine blade. You want to put it on a self-healing cutting mat and just cut again wherever those slits are so that you've got the slits ready for both sides of your card. To retract, just press the button and it's going to pop back in. Very safe and very nice. So this tab is going to go in first. And it's just going to slip right in. There we go. And then this one is going to slip right here. So you've got a 3D stand-up card, beautifully done. For your message, you can use the back of it, and that will work well. So there's your Bendy card. Okay, I have one more to show you. And this is going to be using the 4th sheet in this collection, which is called Out of This World. So you can go into space, or you can just go up in the air with the hot air balloons. Heidi has elected to go up in the air. Now, in this case, this is the sheet that you're using out of the background. And you can see it's got the flowers down below. On the back side, it has some little tiny flowers, little purple flowers. And what Heidi has done is she has first cut this. Again, the directions are down below, tells you what size. And then she matted it on another sheet of this using those purple little flowers. Then she matted it a second time on the gold paper. That sheet that you used earlier, you might as well use it again. And there it is. So all of those then were placed onto the card. And again, this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. Now, Heidi has also done some other things here. So let me bring back the hot air balloon. You can see that it also has those flowers. So she has elected to put 2 balloons on the front of her card. One of them is here. You can see that's the one that's got the arch of the clouds. And then the other one is simply the hot air balloon by itself. So that's fun. They're kind of offset. Also, you get those birds flying. If you've ever been on a hot air balloon, as I have, you do see that. And I highly recommend it. Very fun, as long as you aren't scared to death of heights like I am. But it's very calming and very fun. So you also have these layers for the foreground. Best wishes on your retirement. Yeah, okay. Well, if you want to take a hot air balloon for your retirement, that'll work too. Now, she has also use some dazzles, and I'll show you that on the inside. These are the black greeting dazzles that we had earlier that I'm struggling to find on my sheet. There I am on my table. Here they are. And that will be on the inside, but there are these little flowers. That's why I wanted to find it. And those little flowers are also on the sheet. Not sure if you can see that, but there's one, there's another one. So she has placed those on the corners of her card, and then she topped them with the blue shimmer sparkles from Hunkydory. So you can see that, the little ones. So that worked nicely. She does have a bow, of course, made with her bow maker. And this is using the blue ribbon collection with lots of shades of blue for you. On the inside of her card, well, she did a couple of things. So the top part of this sheet she hadn't used. So she's cut this. She matted it on the gold again. So we're going to use that sheet and placed it. Then she took some of these little purple flowers and cut those, matted them on the gold, and then placed them on opposite sides. Then she had another piece, because you do get 4 of these. So she elected to cut this out. And of course, she wanted to make that easy. So she used our 12 circles and scallop cutting dies and did it out of the gold again. Also did the just round one, the smaller one, out of that background sheet. Beautiful, nice. You know, and I think it's really fun because when you first see this, I'm thinking, what am I going to do with this? Well, they've given you all of the tools that you can create beautiful scenes with this. You could even do some really fun albums if you liked. Congrats is there, more of those flowers with more of the blue sparkles. Just finish up that card, another little bow made with the bow maker and the blue ribbons. So there we go. So you can see you can go by land, sea, and air. So with the brilliant backgrounds, 48 sheets of those, and 8 of these. You've seen all 8 of them now, so certainly a lot of ways of transportation and adventuring. Again, perfect for teen, boy, men, cards, got all your needs taken care of. Now, there is a money saver on the right-hand side of your screen. Heidi has written all the instructions for all 4 cards. They are down below. Again, click on whatever card you want or all of them, and the instruction will be on the right. You can even print them off if you want to. And we do have, like I said, the money saver. If you are watching this on YouTube, you know the drill. Like us, subscribe, head on over to Paper Wishes, take advantage of the money saver, take advantage of the instructions, and have a good time with this. I think that this will be something that you will actually have a very good time with as you're creating these projects. I want to thank Heidi for doing a wonderful job, for taking us by land, sea, and air. But I want to thank you most of all for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time.